What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I'm Darian, this is Jeremy, and we are D&J React. Today, we got some drama in Korea.
Little K-pop drama.
Little K-pop drama.
Poppin'.
Yep. So apparently, no more minors in K-pop. That's a new law going down in South Korea.
Wow.
I wonder what sparked that. Maybe taking advantage of some minors?
Yeah, probably. I would imagine the kids are probably missing school, stuff like that, and the government's jumping in, like, X that out.
Like they're focused too much on their
Too
career
much on
as,
the K-pop,
as
yeah.
kids that they can't really focus on school.
Exactly, yeah. They're not able to focus on being kids, number one. School's probably fallen to the wayside. They probably got a lot of dropouts, within the industry.
Right.
So I'm sure that has a lot to do with it, but we're going to find out here in just a minute. We'll get all the details, all the drama.
Before we do, though, I want to thank everybody at Patreon. You guys have been amazing. All the new people that signed up. There is a week free trial going on right now. So if you guys want to see that content, go over there, sign up. We're giving away a week free. Secondly, I want to thank everybody at GoFundMe for helping us trying to get a new computer. Thank you so much. We really appreciate it. And all right, back to the video. Let's get into this drama. Let's see what's going on here.
Little K-pop
Whether
drama.
minors belong to the K-pop industry or not has been the topic of many discussions, and with South Korea passing a new law, the situation is about to be drastically different. After months of people demanding some kind of action that could lead to the protection of underage idols, it seems like the industry is finally on the right path. On April 24th of 2023, the South Korean Ministry of Culture, Sports, and Tourism announced that there is going to be a new amendment to the Popular Culture and Arts Industry Development Act, and that it was approved during a plenary session. The new bill focuses on numerous issues that the K-pop industry has been dealing with. It states several new rules for entertainment companies that house K-pop idols that are minors to strengthen their protection over underage idols. Additionally, the new law prohibits entertainment agencies from interfering with the idol's education in any way. Companies are not allowed to force...
That's exactly what you said.
Just said that, yep. So yeah, they were probably, taking up too many hours of the day with their dance and the music and the writing and all the things they have to do to be an idol and their appearance and everything else. That was the main focus, and the education was probably starting to fall to the wayside. And government stepped in and was like, no, that ain't gonna happen anymore. We gotta fix this.
I mean, I feel like the K-pop industry would still do fine without hiring minors. It's probably just easier to mold a younger person than it is to, get somebody who's 18 or 19.
Yeah, at that age, they have no bad habits. It's
No
a fresh
bad habits,
slate.
right.
Yeah, they can start from scratch with them and build them up to what they want them to be.
Yeah, because like a lot of these K-pop bands, you hear some of them as young as 10 years old.
Oh, I know.
Like Baby Metal.
Yeah,
like
Baby Metal.
Jesus,
yeah, they
dude.
were super young when they started.
10-year-old girl getting into death metal. That's crazy, dude.
I know. I couldn't imagine. I'm into death metal, but I couldn't imagine, even though I was in it and playing it, having you at 9, 10 years old in death metal playing in a band on stage, live performances, that just blows my mind.
I know, right? It doesn't really make much sense.
And there were girls at that, so
yeah,
that's even crazier that someone would let their little daughters get up on stage and do that stuff.
Crazy, man.
Force their idols to miss school or force them to drop out of school completely. There have been numerous stories about idols who dropped out of middle school because the pressure dealing with school and rigorous idol training has been too much to handle. Education is vital to a child's development because school also helps them socialize and make friends with people their age, which can be hard in the K-pop industry. NCT Dream's Jaemin dropped out of middle school during his first year because he couldn't keep up, and it was very difficult to do both things full time. Although it was Jaemin's own decision to drop out of school, he did admit that he felt unfortunate because there's a kind of social life that you can only experience in school. He watched as his friends went out to play after school, but Jaemin had to go straight to the practice room, so he didn't have any chance to socialize. He also admitted that at that time, he didn't have any friends except for his members. Jaemin attended School of Performing Arts Seoul, which is known for being more lenient towards students who are training to be K-pop idols. It permits students to be absent if they have official schedules, so it's a good compromise for them since arranging their absences is easier. It was still too much for Jaemin to deal with, so it does pose a question if it was the school or his agency that was more demanding. Idol's educational background has been the topic of many discussions, and many people seem to agree that entertainment agencies should be obliged to ensure that their young idols get at least a high school degree in case their career as a K-pop idol doesn't work out. Due to the new law, entertainment agencies are
That's probably the most important thing. Like, I'm sure all these kids, you know, if they get chosen, they go into, like, say, to start training or whatever, or they actually get picked, they probably think, this is it. This is my life for the rest of my life. Not realizing that a million things can happen and you can lose that just as easy as you got it. And then what do you do?
I don't think like most kids at that young of an age, they're so infatuated with what they're doing. They're not like, they don't have that much life experience, so they really don't know like all the roadblocks and stuff ahead. They don't think of that. They're just like doing what they love to do right now. They don't.
Right. But that's my point, is the school, the education, having something to fall back
up,
is so important to have, because this isn't guaranteed. Like, even if you do the auditions, you get in, you did all the training, things happen, you know. What if you get an injury or whatever, and they're like, show's got to go on. We got to get somebody else to fill your spot. You're out.
Yeah.
And that's how the industry is. They don't care about you.
It's the same thing with sports too.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just the show keeps going.
Yeah, with or without you. So you got to have a backup. You got to have that education too.
I agree, man.
Prohibited from making their underage idols do any activity that could compromise their health or pose risks to their overall well-being, such as forcing them to lose weight and coercing them to look better. Agencies are also prohibited from harming their underage idols, be it physically or verbally. The amendment also suggests that entertainment agencies hire a youth protection officer to help them look after the well-being of their underage idols. Many fans have been calling for respective officials to take action.
Wow, dude, so this shit must have actually happened before this law took place, where they're actually hitting them or beating them,
using them mentally, physically,
and they're kids too. So like they're super
kids.
impressionable, you know, like at that age.
Well, they don't have a voice to speak up against it. Like you have all these people that are adults around you telling you what to do, and you're used to just listening to authority. So if that's what I'm supposed to do, you just do it regardless.
Right, and the kids are so respectful over there too. They don't really say much, even if they do really have something to say, because they respect their parents.
I think
and
in the U.S.
so
it would be different with the kids. They don't respect anybody.
Yeah, a lot of kids over here don't really. They don't grow up like that anymore. But over there, the manners are still intact.
Yeah.
So you take that into play, and then you take the fact that these companies are trying to make money, so they're probably getting pissed at these kids and taking it out harder than their parents would on them.
Well, the thing too is, you know, we know with idols that it's all about appearance as well. Like, you have to be on point, perfect, and like, these are kids. Kids aren't on point. They're not perfect. They're still growing and developing, and like, you're trying to make them be this like perfect image. That's got to be a hell of a lot of stress for a little kid, you know, to have that on your shoulders.
That's just how the industry is, but...
Yeah, same thing with models, I guess. You know, you got teen models, and I'm sure they go through the same thing.
Yeah, I'm sure they do, but not to this extent, because they got to dance and sing, and they got to do so much more than just stand in front of a camera and take it. It's way harder than that.
Action to protect minors in the K-pop industry after the concerns surrounding underage idols have been at an all-time high after companies decide to debut younger and younger idols. There have been heartbreaking stories coming from female idols who were exploited by their own companies when they were underage and preparing to debut. Back in 2017, an anonymous female idol shared a post where she described the terrible things that she and her members had to suffer under the hands of their company CEO. She shared that she and her members were forced to drink alcohol despite not being of legal age while in a bar with older men who promised them help with their debut.
Dude, I kind of always wondered that, like, because I'm like, damn, these girls are so young, dude. Like, the guys too, like, really young. I'm like, there's got to be some shady shit going on. Like, over here, they're like the whole thing with Hollywood elites and stuff, and you know, you always hear like, all these young kids coming out years later saying they were, you know, abused, sexually abused in the industry and stuff. So it's, I always wondered about the whole K-pop industry over there, and if it was exactly the same.
It sounds like there is some shady stuff going on. I'm sure it's not the whole industry, but obviously enough that the government's stepping in to try to do something to protect them.
That's good though, because over here the government doesn't give a shit if you get sexually abused in Hollywood. They don't care.
They're part of the problem.
Right, they make money off all that stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
The whole trafficking and everything. Like, I think America is like top 3 or top 4 countries in the world for the child trafficking stuff. So
you got the government behind it.
Yeah, I mean, that's how they fund these wars around the world. Mm-hmm. Our government's so good. It's so awesome. Good to us, dude.
Yeah, it's good to be free.
She added that their CEO then forced one of the trainees to leave with a sponsor, and she then went missing for almost the whole day. They all felt incredibly worried for her because by the time that the trainee left with the man, they were very drunk despite being minors. The man took their friend to a sauna where she then spent a good chunk of the night with him. While the female idol never disclosed any details about what happened at the sauna, she did share that the man called their friend shortly after they debuted. The sponsor contacted their CEO and asked to spend time with their friend. The female idol wasn't able to continue the story because she was afraid that her company would find out and her identity would be revealed. Although she deleted the post, she begged people to share it across social media so more people can learn about the dark and twisted side of the entertainment industry. Stories like this always resurface whenever a new trainee group is announced. Netizens were horrified when YG Entertainment revealed their upcoming girl group Baby Monster is set to debut soon. Their oldest member is 21 years old, while the youngest is only 14. To say netizens were shocked and outraged is an understatement, especially when it was revealed that Baby Monster had been training for around 4 years, which means that their youngest member was 9 years old when she was scouted as a trainee.
That's the
Some
youngest
people
I've
even
heard.
joke that
That's
YG
insane.
took the word baby and Baby Monster too seriously. Very similar thing happened when New Jeans debuted, and while the heat hasn't been as strong, their company still sometimes faces backlash for debuting the girls so young. At least it seems like New Jeans are treated the way that they should be, with their agency scoring.
I mean, I don't think it's a problem for them to be that young and go into the industry as long as there's a balance. Like, obviously, these kids should not be around sexual predators in the industry.
Alcohol. I mean, there's
Alcohol.
no reason for them to be in that kind of setting with alcohol and grown men.
But if there's a balance, it's perfectly fine. It's like someone
Right.
going into the like Olympics. You know, they like the kids
Yeah,
start
there's
really young in the
kids.
Olympics. Like,
Well, even like they have the Disney Channel and stuff, and all those kid actors
Child
and
actors,
stuff.
right.
Yeah, exactly.
but as long as there's a balance, they got the school, the friends still going, they can
Right.
practice and stuff, and you know everything's normal. That's
Right.
fine. But how far these companies
Yeah, they
take
go
this?
to the extreme.
Yeah.
Scoring them bonus points for paying the girls 2 months after their debut. Companies are notorious for pushing trainee debt onto their idols or not paying them at all. Idols not getting paid at all and their companies hoarding all of their revenue is going to change soon too because of the new law. Their working hours are also going to change, so it prevents young idols from being overworked. Previous regulations allowed artists under the age of 15 to work up to 35 hours per week
Wow,
and 40
dude.
hours per week for those who are 15 and older. After the change, artists under the age of 12 are not allowed to work for more than 6 hours a day or 25 hours per week. Artists between 12 and 15 years old are allowed to work for 7 hours a day or 30 hours a week, and artists over the age of 15 are not allowed to work more than 35 hours per week or more than 7 hours a day. Because of this new bill, K-pop entertainment agencies are going to be obliged to disclose their income statements to their idols. They'll have to do this at least once a year and whenever their artists request to see their income statement. This is a huge requirement and even bigger improvement. This new rule comes just in time after Lee Seung-gi's agency, Hook Entertainment, was exposed for not paying Seung-gi what he earned from his music activities for the past 18 years.
Oh my
Dispatch
God,
revealed the
wow.
company's terrible treatment in November of 2022 when they shared that Seung-gi did not receive any money since his debut in 2004. It's
Oh
not
my
like
God.
Seung-gi is some underground artist who
Bro,
Could you imagine working
18
for 18
years of content. That's like us putting out 18 years of YouTube shit, not getting paid a
Nothing.
dime.
That's insane.
That is
Like,
wild,
how,
dude.
first off, how do you go that long? I could see maybe like your first year or two, you're breaking in, you're getting started. Okay, you got to pay your dues. But after like 3 years, 5, 6, 7, you're like,
Bro, almost 2 decades.
where's my money, guys? Like, I'm making you
Jesus.
guys millions and millions of dollars. Where's my cut?
Literally almost
Like, speak up.
almost 2 decades. It's
Yeah.
almost 2024.
Yeah.
He said he hasn't been paid
I
since
mean, at
2004.
some point, you turn 18, 19, 20. You're a man now. You have a voice at this point. You're in the industry. Like, you see other people around you making money. You think you would step up, get a lawyer, be like, all right, we need to straighten this out.
Well, I'm sure that's what happened. Is a lot of these people, just like his case, you know, put their filings in, and
Yeah.
and eventually, probably with not getting paid, the sexual harassment of minors and stuff,
Yeah.
all that shit, I'm sure caught the
Yeah.
attention of the government. So
That's good.
wow.
They're stepping in.
How did he keep going though? If he had no money, like how did he?
No idea.
I don't know. I don't really know who he is, but that's pretty sad.
who isn't really that famous. He's released numerous hit songs and he sold over 100,000 copies of his first 3 albums. Because of the time he debuted at, he was incredibly popular in the download market where people downloaded his songs for ringtones. Although Hook Entertainment collected the revenue from his music, Seunggi didn't see any of it. He released 137 songs over the past 18 years, but didn't see a dime from it. Even Psy, who was the producer for Seunggi's hit Because You're My Girl, shared that Seunggi should have received a lot of money from the song. Since Psy has been receiving royalties from sales and streams of the song, it's disappointing to know that Seunggi hasn't received anything. Between 2006 and 2022, Seunggi's music earned around $7 million in revenue. His contract with Hook Entertainment went through a couple of changes, and he started with 60% of his profit going to the company and 40% should have gone to him.
Wow.
After a few years, he should have received 60% of the profit while 40% would go to the company. Then his profit rose to 70% for Seunggi and 30% for the company. Seunggi was also responsible for his agent fees and other expenses that should have been handled by the agency. Even though Seunggi made around $660,000 from his 6th album, he was still called a minus singer by executives at his agency. Seunggi has also been gaslighted and psychologically manipulated by his own agency by being told that his fans aren't buying his albums and being prohibited by the company CEO from using the company card for food while Seunggi was out on schedule. Thankfully, the company did pay him back his unpaid earnings, and although sources state
So Hook Entertainment paid singer-actor Lee Sung $5.6 million to settle dispute, but shit, he probably lost out on another $5 or $10 million of everything.
I'm sure it should have been way, way more than that. But I'm sure at that point, 18 years later, he's like 5.6.
Just give me the 6
Give me the money, I'm out. I don't care. Just let me move on with my life.
Oh my God, dude, that's so sad that these companies treat these people like this, man. It's crazy. Like, it's the same thing in a lot of sports though too, like boxing. Like a lot of those people, like remember when Mike Tyson had all those like people behind him that were just like siphoning off money from him left and right. It's like the same exact shit, dude.
It happens in every entertainment industry. I mean, whether it's sports or stuff like this with music. I mean, it's out there. There's always shady people, man.
I love how the internet has become such a big thing now that these really talented artists can kind of just
they have a voice.
Yeah, they can just go through all the platforms, make their own YouTube channel, the SoundCloud. They can stream all their stuff. They can collect cryptocurrency for their stuff. Like,
that's probably the biggest thing for musicians right now is cryptocurrency. They can do exactly what you're saying.
There's a couple platforms out there right now. BitSong, I think BitSong, they pay you out in Bit token or whatever to create music and put it on their platform.
That's pretty cool.
They pay you out. Yeah,
that's awesome. I bet a lot of creators are going to start going that way. Avoid all of this headache and hassle.
I think
just do it themselves.
I think BitSong is like a SoundCloud basically for people who create their own albums and music, and they pay you out in crypto.
Right.
So
yeah,
it's
you
pretty
get
cool.
A percentage or a cut of it, and then everybody else just downloads it.
No, I don't think you get a percentage. I think you get like almost all of it through BitSong. Yeah.
Wow.
And then what BitSong, they make money off of the selling the BitSong for another token.
Gotcha.
Like the fees, on the back end, but they don't take these companies are taking 60, 70%.
It's crazy how much they take from them.
Yeah.
Different numbers, the overall settlement was very high. Being the sweetheart he is, Seunggi then donated the money that was given to him to a children's hospital since he wanted to spend it more meaningfully. The so-called Seunggi Act also orders entertainment companies to include details.
So he gave, how much money did he give?
He gave it away.
He gave all of that away?
He gave it away to a children's
hospital. So he worked
hospital.
for free for 20 years to give all that money away to not have any money left.
Well, we don't know if he doesn't have any money. I mean, who knows what else
any
he has
money
going.
left from what we just saw that he got.
Well, from the 5.6, it looks as though he gave it away.
I mean,
gave it to charity. So, I mean, you get a write-off on your taxes, obviously. Or I'm assuming it's the same over there. You would get some kind of write-off for it. But still,
dude.
I mean, 5.6, you've been waiting almost 20 years to get paid. You get paid and then just hand it all away.
This is why I don't understand why the Asian community is hated so much by you always see them in New York getting jumped by different races of people, all the time. I've been seeing a lot of videos recently of a girl on a train getting beat up by a group of black girls.
Yeah.
I was like, damn, I don't understand why Asian community is literally getting beat up constantly in New York City and in the United States, and they're literally sitting there not saying anything. They're the most polite people. I mean, they're giving their money away.
Yeah.
You see what BTS does. All these Korean and Asian people are the nicest people in the world. So I don't even understand why there's an Asian hate thing going on.
It's just ignorant people, man. They're everywhere.
Doesn't make any
Yeah.
sense, man.
Just stupid people, man.
On how the artists are going to get paid in their contract, as well as where the money comes from. While it's probably not going to stop companies from debuting minors, many people are hopeful that it will make their time in the entertainment industry more pleasant. Some people are strongly against minors in K-pop and refuse to support groups made up of underage members, claiming that there is nothing wrong with debuting members who are 18 and above. Others are happy that at least something is happening in order to protect underage idols from the dangers of the entertainment industry. Do you think minors should be allowed to debut, or are you strongly against it? Let us know in the comments down below. Thank you for watching. Bye.
I don't know. I don't think there's anything wrong with it as long as they're being
No.
treated like a kid. You
Yeah.
know, like you respect them, you know, guide them, you teach them how to do certain things. Like
You said it best. There needs to be a balance of all these activities that are going on.
Your
Allow
school,
them to
your
still be a
friends.
kid. You know, allow them to be a child at the same time they're doing all of this.
right.
You know, don't take that childhood away from them because they're going to regret it later on.
Yeah. Well, like they were saying, you saw those laws with how many hours each age
Right.
group was allowed to
Yeah.
work. Well, like at 9 or 10 years old, they're making these people work 14 hours a
That's
day.
crazy, right?
And then it was like for 12 years old, I think on there it said 25 hours a week is what you could work.
Yeah,
And they're doing basically more than half that in just one day.
yeah.
So by day 2, you're already past the 25-hour mark at
That's insane,
10
isn't
years old, 9 years old.
Yeah, that's crazy, man.
Brutal, dude. And I'm sure they're not getting paid hourly or anything. They
No,
just get
of course
paid
not.
once they debut and they
Well,
start.
it's once the records sell.
Mm-hmm.
You got to make money first from the record sales.
Crazy,
Yeah.
dude. Yeah, that was insane. But good update, dude.
That was pretty cool, man. That was really
cool.
eye-opening.
I'm
I
glad
had no
that
idea.
that those laws are going into effect for them because I'm
Yeah.
tired of seeing these like talented people getting screwed over by these companies who already make millions of
Oh,
dollars
yeah.
and don't really
It's just
need it.
greed, corporate greed.
Yeah, it's frustrating, man. But yeah, good
was
stuff,
good, man.
guys. I really like that one. All right, guys, that was it for today. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, hit that bell notification for more. Jump over to Patreon. We're giving a week for free, and if you guys could sprinkle some love in our GoFundMe so we can update our computer and get a new one. Ours is breaking down pretty badly.
It's sad.
It's getting worse and worse every day. So if you could go over there and sprinkle some love, it would be much appreciated.
Thank you.
All right, guys, we will see you on the next one.
Peace.
Peace.